Hey everyone, I'm back, and this week we're going to try to improve the box Japanese curry. Now, these already taste pretty good on their own, I'm not going to lie, but I have several ways that should improve it as well, and I'll explain as the video goes on. Before we start, apparently most of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you've been enjoying my cooking content, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Only takes a quick second. Now, without further ado, we're going to start by soaking 1.5 liters of water with 15 grams of kombu overnight. This kombu water contains a lot of glutamic acid. Think of it as natural MSG. Now we want to start cutting up 3 onions into slices. It's not super necessary to cut them thin, but if you do, the caramelizing step should be a bit quicker. In my opinion, this prep work is great knife practice, so keep at it. Now we're going to cut up 2 carrots, and I'm going to be performing a Japanese cutting technique called rangiri, or random cutting as it's translated into. What you want to do is cut the carrot diagonally, then rotate it around 90 degrees and then cut it diagonally again each time. This method will actually give you a lot of surface area for the carrot, which helps cook it a lot quicker. It's actually great for curries or stews, this type of technique. After cutting the carrot, we're going to cut up the ginger into slices before mincing it up with 5 garlic cloves. Now, the final thing we have to cut for vegetables is potatoes. I'm going to cut up 4 potatoes using the rangiri technique again. That's a little bit harder because I'm not used to doing it with potatoes, but try the best you can. Okay, finally time to cut up the meat. We'll be using some chicken thighs as they can be cooked for long periods of time without drying out. Cut up the chicken into bite-sized chunks, leave them into a bowl, and we're going to season them later. All you need is a little bit of salt and black pepper, and I lost my footage of me cracking in the black pepper, but you get the point. Give it a good mix, set a pot on high heat and add some oil, and then we're going to sear them. Start flipping your chicken once it starts developing a crust and you start seeing some fond on the bottom of the pan. Once the chicken is seared and has some color on it like this, we can start removing it from the pot. The pot is empty, so we will now begin to caramelize our sliced onions from before. Add a pinch of salt to it as this will help draw out the moisture, which will help the caramelization process quicker. Give everything a good stir so all the oil is coated on the onions evenly. You can see a lot of fond from the chicken, and we can add a bit of water to help deglaze the pot a bit. This is crucial as the fond has a lot of flavor that we will help add to our curry, and when mixed with these caramelized onions later on, it's an umami bomb, so don't forget this step. After the pot is more or less deglazed, you can let the onions sit for a bit while remembering to stir it every now and then to prevent burning. It'll take some time, but your onions will eventually look like this, and I felt like at this point it was caramelized enough. You can always go a bit further though if you choose to. After reaching this point, we will place in our chopped carrots and let it saute a bit. Proceed to add in your minced garlic and ginger and then cook it until it starts becoming fragrant. Finally, we'll add in our soaked kombu water mixture to deglaze the pan once again. Make sure to scrape the bottom. Place a lid over it and bring it up to a simmer. Once simmering, take out the kombu as it will impart a slimy texture if simmered for too long. We will now add in our potatoes and chicken. Give everything a good mix and let this simmer for around, I would say, 20 to 30 minutes, or basically until the potatoes become tender enough to bite through. The potatoes are tender now, so I'm going to start adding the Japanese curry blocks 1/2 at a time. The curry blocks are just pre-made curry roux. A roux is just made up of part flour and a fat, and what it does is help thickens any sauce, stew, etc. In this case, Japanese curry is like a stew. So we're going to keep stirring the pot to make sure the curry blocks dissolve completely before adding in our second half. You can see right here that giant black clump that I just stirred around. Make sure that dissolves or you're getting a bite full of salt. Time to add in the second half once everything's dissolved, and then repeat the process. As you can see, the curry really starts to thicken up once the curry blocks dissolve, and this is what we want. When you make sure everything is dissolved, taste the curry for final seasoning. In the end, you may need to adjust the salt level, so always taste your food when you finish. There you have it, some improved Japanese curry. I like to serve it with some rice and some chicken katsu, and whether you think it's worth it or not, it's hard to say, so go make it and let me know what you think. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my video, and if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and follow my Instagram at Weekend Cooks. Thanks for the support everyone!